Hi, I've been watching a few films on Netflix recently to make up the numbers for last year as I can't get to the cinema anymore. And one that I finally finished watching was I Lost My Body, a French animated feature with an English language dub whose cast includes Dev Patel, Alia Shawkat, and George Wendt. It's a very unusual, highly stylized picture, and it unfolds in two separate story strands. One is the story of a young immigrant living in present day Paris, orphaned at a very young age, who lives with his horrible cousin, works in a pizza delivery job, but as through his job meets a young woman, and his pursuit of her involves him uh, finding a purpose in life, becoming a carpenter, and trying to expand his horizons. The other storyline is about a severed hand which escapes from a medical lab and travels across the city, along the way having to cross dangerous roads, fighting with rats in the metro, and undergoing all kinds of terrible ordeals to try and reach its destination. Towards the end of the film, the two storylines dovetail, and we discover what the hand is, where it's from, and why it's doing what it's trying to do. But the story as a whole is it's very beautiful. It's very stylized. It's very, very original. It's based on a book by Guillaume Laurent, who co-wrote the script and also co-wrote Amélie with Jean-Pierre Jeunet, and it's the film's directed by a French filmmaker as well, whose name I struggle to pronounce. And the problem is that although it's very beautiful and brilliantly made, it's a bit... I found it too much of an effort to get through. I actually had to watch it in two chunks, and given that it's barely 80 minutes, that's something of a condemnation. It's a film about loss. The main character's tragic background, the deaths of his parents, play very heavily into the story, and the disconnected human relationships he has as a result. His habit of creating tape recordings show him putting humanity and feelings at a remove. But it's also about physical loss, and that it's a story about the severed hand and its journey to get somewhere, to perhaps be reunited with, as the title suggests, the rest of its body. This disconnection from the body, from the family, from other people, is the running theme of the film. But it's just a bit too slight. So although it's, as I say, it looks gorgeous, it's very well voice acted. I actually switched halfway through from the French to English language track to gain a contrast. And the English language audio track is very good, but oddly the accents are all over the place. So you have Dev Patel and Alia Shawkat and George Wendt all speaking with their own accents, which is a bit confusing, given that the film's set in Paris. But it's not quite there. I did like that it won it was nominated for the Oscar for Best Animated Feature this year, which it lost to Toy Story 4. Because although Toy Story 4 is more emotionally engaging and perhaps the better film, I Lost My Body is much more original, far more interested in taking risks in the way it's telling a story. So it deserves, I think, a bit more acclaim and recognition just for trying to do something very strange and very original.